Hi, little sisters. Welcome to video 3 in our beginners yoga series. So this particular flow is going to be a little bit different. So the theme for this flow is stress reduction and anxiety reducing. And I would still say that it's appropriate for beginners, but some of the moves may be a little more intermediate, but I definitely encourage you to try the moves out. Of course, listen to your body. You definitely want to stay safe as you're going through the flow, but I definitely want to encourage you to at least try some of the moves. If you think you can't, you would be surprised at what your body can do. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and unmic myself and let's get into the flow. I'll see you guys down on the mat.
All right, guys, it is voiceover Tiffany. So, like always, I like to begin each practice with a meditation. I just like to make myself present in this moment. And as we're starting off, we are starting in thunderbolt position. So you're just basically sitting on your heels. If that's comfortable for you, you can also start this in easy pose. It is completely up to you. All right, so the first portion of this warm up is going to be cat cow and thunderbolt position. We're going to do this in 5 rounds. So that's the amount of breaths we're going to do and the amount of movements, sorry, that we're going to do. So that is inhale, exhale 5 times. All right, now we're going to start with arm rotation. So, as we are sweeping our arms down, we exhale, and as we're sweeping our arms up, we are going to inhale. And I am turning to face you guys for the sake of the video, but we are now going to go into torso circles, and we are going to start with the right side. So we're going to move in the right direction. All right, now we're going to tabletop position. And our next move is going to be tiger pose. And basically, what you're going to do is you are going to lift your left foot off the ground and then reach back with your left hand and kind of hold this well, not kind of, hold this pose, and we're going to hold this for 5 breaths. Up next is balancing table. So you're going to release and extend your right leg and also extend your left arm. And as you guys know, I don't cut out any mistakes, or if I struggle, I want to grow in my practice right along with you guys. Okay, so we're releasing balancing table, and now we are going to draw our hips to the heels of our feet, and we are going to relax in child's pose. All right, so now we are going to repeat this warm up on the other side. So now we're starting in cat cow. Okay, seated mountain to arm rotation. Up next, we're going to do torso circles, but this time we are moving in the left direction, and we're going to do 5 rotations of torso circles. All right, tabletop. To tiger pose. Release and come to balancing table. Okay, release and draw your hips back to the tops of your heels, and this is child's pose. Okay, so now we're going to meet at the top of our mat, and we're going to meet in mountain pose, and this is the start of our sun salutation. And we're going to start with mountain pose, hands at our heart, and then we're going to reach into a backwards bend. This feels really good. All right, forward fold, hands to ankles, and just stretch deeply here. If it's comfortable for you, you can put your hands on the mat. You can use blocks, but whatever it is, just make sure you're comfortable and safe. All right, so now we're going to step back into runner's lunge. All right, release runner's lunge. We're going to hold a plank. All right, lower down to 8-limbed staff pose. And I was trying to get it together, y'all. All right, transition into cobra. Tuck your toes and come into downward facing dog. And like always, you can paddle it out with me, or you can just stay in a still downward facing dog, completely up to you. And then we step into runner's lunge. Step into forward fold, hands on your ankles. Okay, release and slowly do a spinal roll until you come back into mountain, hands at your heart. All right, and like always, we're gonna run through that again, but on the other side. So we begin mountain, hands at your heart, backward bend, forward fold, hands to your ankles, release, step back into runner's lunge, release to plank, lower to 8-limbed staff pose, transition to cobra, tuck your toes, downward facing dog, to runner's lunge, step into forward fold, and slowly roll into mountain. Okay, so now we are going to get into the meat of our flow. So we're going to start in mountain and we're just going to rotate our palms to the sky. Raise your arms, volcano pose. Down to forward fold, hands on your mat. And we're not going to do a variation of the forward fold with the hands on your mat because we are then going to transition into a revolved forward fold. Here's the revolve forward fold. And what you're going to want to do to ensure your comfort with this stretch, you are going to slightly bend your left leg and keep your right leg straight. And just twist. And if you want an extra stretch, you can try looking at the tips of your fingers. Now we're going to come into a halfway lift. And after your halfway lift, you're going to hop, step, or jump into downward facing dog. Now we're going to step into Warrior 2. And again, you just want to make sure that the arch of your back foot is aligned with the heel of your front foot. All right, we're going to rotate that back foot. And we are going to interlace our fingers behind us and lean into this stretch. This is called Humbled Warrior. Now, this one is pretty good, guys. I really encourage you to try this stretch if you haven't already done so. All right, transition Warrior 1. Okay, draw your hands behind you, interlace your fingers. This is bound, Warrior 1 bound hands. Release your fingers, bend your arms at the elbows, and open your chest. This is Warrior 1 cactus arms. And now we're going to release, and we are going to intertwine our arms and interlace our hands. And this is Warrior 1 eagle arms. Okay, we're going to release, and we are going to kind of leap into a half Warrior 3. All right, step back into Warrior 1. All right, now we're stepping into downward facing dog. All right, lower into cobra, lift, another good stretch. And release. And this is called bound angel. So you're going to basically lift your feet behind you and grab them with your hands and just kind of use your feet to stretch and open your chest. Okay, go ahead and release. And now we're going into wide child's pose. Okay, and now we're going back to downward facing dog. And step or hop into forward fold and slowly roll your back through a spinal roll to come back to mountain. And now we are going to do this all over again, but on the left side. So we have mountain, palms to the sky, arms up, volcano pose, sweep your arms down, forward fold, hands on your mat. All right, now we're going to transition into revolved forward fold. Okay, release, halfway lift. Okay, come into downward dog. And now we're going to step into warrior two. And I just realized that I was actually supposed to do the three-legged downward dog that I did before, and I didn't. So I apologize for that. All right, you rotate your back foot, and we are going to go into humbled warrior. Okay, release to warrior one. All right, sweep your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, warrior one, bound hands. Bring your arms up, bending at the elbows, and pull your shoulder blades together to open your chest. Let's close our chest, and we are now in warrior one, eagle arms. Release and lift into a half warrior three. And I almost lost my balance there. All right, step back into warrior one. All right, release into downward facing dog. Come into cobra. We're going to transition into bow pose. Draw our hips back into wide child's pose. Lift into downward facing dog. We're going to reach to revolved downward dog. Back to downward dog. up to forward fold. And spinal roll to mountain. All right, so find a comfortable position. We're gonna go down to our mat. You can sit in easy pose, or you can actually go back to Thunderbolt if you like. I'm going to start our wind down in easy pose. Sweep your arms up, and then we are going to do a side bend to the right side. Okay, release, arms up, and then we are going to twist to the right side. Release, and now we are going to draw our hands behind us and lift our chest. This is the back bend. Now we are going to walk our hands in front of us, and this is our forward fold. All right, and come back to easy. And now we are going to repeat that on the other side. Arms up, side bend to the left. Arms up, and then we're going to twist to the left. All right, release, arms up, backwards bend. Arms up, forward fold. All right, release and come back to easy. And you can either stay in easy pose or you can come with me into Savasana. And we have reached the end of our flow. And as always, you can stay here for as little or as long as you like. If you want to stay here a little bit longer, please feel free to pause the video. And when you're ready, I want you to awaken yourself, wiggle your toes, your fingers, blink your eyes open, and just relax. Thank your body for the wonderful movement it gave us throughout this flow. And I hope you were able to release some anxiety, some stress, some tension.
All right, that wraps up video number 3 in our yoga for beginners / intermediate series. Thank you so much for joining me down on the mat. I always love it when you guys enjoy my content. As always, if there's any themes or even areas you want me to target when I'm writing my flows, just leave me a comment below. And like always, if you like my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. And yeah, that's it. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am exhausted. Oh my God. So I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much, guys. I love you.